This was my first unboxing. I bought the Triple Score because a friend of mine, he's been looking at them, and he and I would go metal detecting on the beach when we go on vacation, and he, we seem to be getting a lot of false positives. I haven't used his equipment this whole time, so I decided I'm going to just buy my own because I had the money, and the Triple Score for what it is probably perfect for my needs. It's lightweight. It seems like the boxing a little leery about the boxing for what it costs. But I'd rather put the money in the technology than a nice box. Well, probably, but I'll show you when you open it up. When I opened it up, the second coil is just kind of thrown in there, as you can see. This I actually put it back in because I wanted to show how it was. So it's actually better than what it was when I opened it the first time. But you get the secondary coil, you get the headset, Bluetooth, by the way, and I'm have yet to try that. But the you get the coil, the headset, which you had to pay extra if you wanted to get the Xterra model. But the accessory bag, it's got the two bolts for the coils to mount and the rubber washers that go in that. You get the headset, a charging cable for the headset, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. The manual, and then they tie wrap. The secondary coil actually is underneath the box. I don't know why I didn't show that in this snippet, but it's just laying in the back of the box through that back plane there where the handle and everything's sitting. It's pretty secure. The box delivery was okay. They threw it around. It might get damaged. I don't know, but it's got a 3-year warranty, and I would expect your shipper or whoever ships it to you is going to cover if there's a problem with anything in the box. Of course, UPS will probably have to pay that back at some point. But they tie wrap this in place, which is pretty cool because you can reuse those tie wraps if you want to. It's not just a throwaway item. And then you get the flashlight just like on the Xterra. So on the back here you have the speaker, the flashlight. On the left is you'll see me putting the cap on there. That's the headphone and charging port. That makes it water resistant or waterproof. And then the left side obviously is where you connect the coil. The shaft goes in as a D shape. It's not circular. And the cam locks are on the bottom. So keep that in mind for the assembly because all the cam locks should align to the bottom. And the pole can only go in one direction, or D shape up or D shape down. And it's D shape up if you're holding the unit. That back piece like that is for the charger, I just figured out. So here I'm just trying to kind of see how it assembles. And why read the manual, of course. Not going to do it. But there I'm opening the cam lock and then putting the pole assembly in. And then, so that kind of shows how it's assembled. And I'm sorry about the cam work. I'm going to get better at this stuff. I need a different lens. But let me get into the more of the assembly here in a second. So I wanted to talk about the accessories bag, the headset, a couple things I have comments on. Is the accessory bag, you get two of the bolts for the coils and a charging cable. You get the headset with the charging cable, its own charging cable, and a bag, which is nice. But they use the USB B cable, mini B or whatever. Why do they use a C for this? Makes no sense. Don't understand that because it that way you're carrying less cables. I mean, yeah, my iPhone doesn't have it, but my tablet does. My computer does. So now I got to carry an extra cable with me. But that didn't end there. What about the charging cable? Same thing. Uses these mil-spec connectors in order to keep everything waterproof, and I agree with that. It's great. But there are USB-C connectors that can be waterproof as well. And The reason you want waterproofing is if you have your battery power pack that connects to it, so you can keep running. So I understand that, but I think they could have done a little better on that. But also, when you connect, you can connect headset to that port as well on the back side of the head unit. Would like to know why they didn't include a bag for your accessories for your bolts. So here you'll see, and I think I showed it in the video earlier, the connections, the flashlight, the speaker. But here on the left hand side with the cap, the right side is the coil, the left side that I'm pointing to with my thumb, that's the headset charge port. And it's got that cap, male cap, in order to keep it waterproof. So I do appreciate that. 100% appreciate that. So let's put this thing together. Here you got to remember that the tubes have a direction on them, and the D shape has to be with its back laying down parallel with the ground. And then you'll use the bolts, and there's two washers that are rubber that go into the head rod in order to connect the coil. And the strap you see in there, and I don't point out, is for your forearm, so you can strap yourself in, so to speak. But assembling this, I went ahead and took everything apart, and you'll notice here, see the D shape. It's kind of hard to see here, I'm sorry. But you see the D shape, the way the D is up, if you will. You can make sure that all your tubes follow that same method. So your cam locks are down. That's an easy way to know when you do get ready to assemble your coil to the last rod that you'll want your D shape up. See that? I'm putting it all together just to put it together. And then that way, you make sure you put it in your coil correctly. So I'm going to pull it out and then take the screw and bolt, which is kind of like a butterfly, but it's plastic. So you got to be kind of careful with it. And then the washers, you'll see those rubber washers, they fit inside those holes. They're they're recessed, kind of like a countersink. Then they go in. Now make sure you have the D side up. D side up. That's what I'm going to call it. And then you slide it down onto your coil. And then put your bolt through. Yeah, sorry for the video. I tried doing this. This is like my second or third. I need to get better at this. I need somebody else to help me. So now you got your movement. You got 180 degrees of movement. So you need to make sure that when you tie wrap your cable or wrap your cable around the pole, you want to make sure you have enough freedom that you don't pull on the gland. And I'll point to it here in a second. The gland is where the wire comes out of the coil. Because if you trip or fall, you don't want to rip that thing out, because then you're going to be needing a coil. Probably first few times you won't, but the third or fourth time, why risk it? So anyway, give yourself a little bit of, see how we have leeway there, a little bit of freedom of movement, tie wrap it, and then watch. I'll push it over, and there you're just moving the cable. You're not putting any kind of strain on the actual where the cable enters the coil. And there's a strain relief on it, but I guarantee you don't want to you want to make sure you don't ruin that, because you'll be having to buy a new cable or a new coil or have the coil repaired. So see how it compacts down pretty good, even with the coil in place. So it's not bad. And I like the light, it's lightweight, pretty lightweight. Can't really complain too much. That came out really well too. There's a notch, and the notch is up at 12 o'clock, and it goes in the back of that head unit and screws in place. And I thought I'd just make a quick video. This is longer than I really want it to be, but just to kind of show you. And I interjected some of my own comments. I'm new to this. This is my first owned metal detector other than a handheld point device. So I'm looking forward to learning how to use this thing and hopefully find some stuff at the beach. Thought I'd power it on for you here. This is battery power out of the box. I haven't charged it up yet. So it powers up. It's kind of cool. Oh, get that tear. Oh, that new cover. But there it is. That's just turned on. No settings. Nothing's changed. I'm probably going to go try it out of the box and just give it a whirl sooner than later. I'm charging it right now. So hopefully within the next day or so, I'll have another video kind of going through the menus and stuff. I'm sure others have done it too, so I'm not going to do too much on that. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to show you how it came. Nokta did not send this to me. I paid for it out of my own money. And I just thought I'd make a video to irritate you guys. Hopefully it's all right. And we will talk at you later.